What's up, guys? Rivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. So here's the deal, guys. If you guys have been paying attention to my comments, you've seen there have been some people that are talking about Hannah Gadsby still, but, you know, I guess I can maybe revisit that at some point if you guys want, and I can take down some of the haters or whatever, but I've already taken down enough people on social media when it comes to that. The fact of the matter is I didn't like it. I have a right to not like it. It doesn't make me anti-feminist. It doesn't make me anti-woman. It doesn't make me homophobic. It doesn't make me non-gender conforming phobic. It doesn't make me any kind of phobic that I just didn't think it was funny. And that's where it's at. And if you don't like that, then you don't like that and don't pay attention to my shit. It doesn't mean that I hate on her. It doesn't mean that I'm jealous of her. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means I didn't like it. Okay? So there's that. If you notice, the other thing I keep getting asked about is Comedy Lineup. Comedy Lineup is a stand-up special on Netflix, or it's like a series of 8 different 15-minute stand-up sets by 8 different comedians in order. That would be Michelle Buteau, Karmel, Taylor Tomlinson, Sam J, Phil Wang, Sabrina, Jalees, Jack Knight, and Tim Dillon. Full disclosure, I know some of these comics. I very much do like Sam J, Taylor Tomlinson, and Jack Knight, all his people. But when it comes to the Comedy Lineup, we're just going to talk about that as far as performances they gave. So any personal feelings aside, it's just going to be based on performances they gave. We're going to watch the trailer first. We'll probably watch that in its entirety so you guys get a chance. And then hopefully you guys end up watching these for yourself and you let me know what your opinion of these different sets was. If you agree, if you don't agree, that would be a fun way to do this. I'm not the say-all, end-all of all of this. I just give my opinion as another comic. And sometimes that's what people have to keep in mind, that me being a comic means that I look at things in a different way. So when I was watching this, I was actually watching it with my silly boyfriend, Christopher, and there were parts that he laughed and he seemed to enjoy where I was just like, meh. But anyway, we'll watch the trailer and then we'll talk about it right after.
My comedy style in 3 words.
What?
Petrified. Electric.
Tall. I'm quite tall.
Jewish Santa does heroin.
Sassy.
Sorry.
Adequate.
Ignorant yet aware.
Boom.
What is up? Oh, hey, bitch.
I love this city. Everything's on a biscuit. It's kind of my speed.
Blah, 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 blah.
What?
Yay.
It has been such a great time for women and such a terrible time for men who have been doing weird shit with their dicks.
Oh, no.
Check these bitches.
I don't know.
Hey, yo.
What?
Pay attention to me.
This mustache has fucked up my entire life. I look like the cover of a pizza box. Mwah, just like a mama used to make.
Hey, good night. Y'all look dope.
Well, there it was, guys. There it was, the trailer to the Comedy Lineup stand-up special on Netflix. If you guys get a chance, like I said, check it out. Let me know what you guys thought about it. I'm going to tell you guys what I thought about it. First off, let's start off with, let's just kind of go in order and see where we're going. I'm going to say, before we actually get to individuals, I almost feel like Netflix maybe was asking the comics not to go at full speed, because it just didn't feel like anybody was really going for it. Like, I would imagine that somebody in this would just want to kill it. Just be like, I just want to fucking knock this out of the fucking park, get a standing O, make these people stand up, even if they've been told to remain in their seats, which I don't know anybody that's going to tell people to remain in their seats. I know sometimes people will do the, like, let's get some footage of a standing O, and then they'll give everybody standing O's. I've seen that done. I think that's pretty lame, but that doesn't, usually the comics don't have anything to do with that. That's the actual director or whoever it is that would handle that. So there's that. But on this one, nobody got a standing O. Nobody got, like, real, where the audience just couldn't stop laughing. The person that I saw get closest to that was Tim Dillon. And Tim Dillon, I was looking forward to seeing him because I had heard about him. I haven't met him in real life. Very impressed by Tim Dillon. I thought Tim Dillon was absolutely hilarious. Now I'm going out of order after I just said I was going to go in order. All right, let's do it this way. Let's just do it however it's natural. Organic, as they would say. Ian Karmel also stood out to me. Ian Karmel was so funny to me. And I didn't necessarily care for his closer. You guys can let me know what you thought about it. But the truth is, I didn't care for anybody's closer. Like, nobody left the stage where it was just like, bam, drop the mic, I'm fucking done. You know, which is kind of what I was hoping for, especially from Sam J. I love Sam J. I think Sam J is so hilarious, and she thinks so far out of the box, which, no pun intended, because she's lesbian. I know some people are going to be like, oh, she's definitely thinking in the box, or she's thinking about the box, or whatever you fucking hacks at home are thinking. I know that there's a million box jokes that can be made when it comes to Sam J because she's a lesbian. But I always love Sam J, and I always love her thinking. I just didn't think this was that strong of a set. But it also made sense to me because she just came off doing her Comedy Central half hour, I believe it was. So I'm sure she burnt a lot of material doing her half hour. So you don't want to repeat the same stuff, or I wouldn't imagine she'd want to repeat the same stuff on her Netflix 15-minute that she did in her Comedy Central half hour. So then you're probably working with your B material. And it's not a put down, and it's not saying it wasn't a good set. It was definitely a respectable set. It just wasn't the most fun. When it came to Jack Knight, I'm also friends with Jack Knight. I like Jack Knight. Again, I didn't think this was his best material. I've seen Jack Knight absolutely kill it at open mics, and maybe some of his stuff is a little bit too edgy, or it was not approved by Netflix. I don't know what the rules are at Netflix. When it comes to Comedy Central, I don't know what it is now, but I know what it was when I did it last, which was 2013, I think that was. And I don't think most of the stuff I did then would even be approved now. And especially, you know, like the stuff I did before on Comedy Central, I don't think that would be approved either. So I don't know if Netflix goes by any of that, or if Netflix is just like anything goes. If it was anything goes, I think Jack Knight should have gone more towards the anything goes, because it seemed like he was really not doing the Jack Knight that I've seen. Maybe he's trying to set up a character to possibly get sitcom type thing. I don't know. Maybe that's what his thinking was. You never know. And I'm not judging in a harsh way, so anybody that gets mad at me, you're welcome to get mad at me. I'm fine with it. Jack Knight, I believe he has my phone number, and if he doesn't have my phone number, he can hit me up on Facebook and get it if he wants to. We've chatted on Facebook before as far as direct message, and we always say hi when we see each other, but I'm not in LA right now, so it's not like he can chat with me, but if he wants, he can get a hold of me, is what I'm saying. I'm not coming at him like, you know, oh, it sucked and it was terrible. I just felt like, you know, I know I've seen him do better material. So I'd be interested to know what the behind the scenes is on that. If Jack Knight wants to hit me up, please do hit me up, because I would love to hear what the behind the scenes was, if you can discuss it. If you don't want to fuck up your money, or you don't want to waste time talking to me on the phone, I don't blame you for that shit either. Michelle Buteau, I'm going to be honest, I've never been a fan. I remember I once got into it with her. It was at this show that we did together, where she was shitty with me for no reason, which, like, the thing with me, anybody that knows me when it comes to stand-up, is you can be shitty with me and have me not like you as a person, but then when I see your stand-up, I'll still really just judge it on what it is. And I didn't get a single laugh out of what she did. It was the kind of thing where I was just like, yeah, this person is really playing a character. And one thing I hate when people, because if you're playing a character, you're playing a character. But when in your character you're saying that, you know, you just don't have time to fake the funk anymore, like that kind of thing, because that's one of the things she says. But then I still feel like you're faking the funk. It's like you're being a stereotype right now. You use the word "da fuck" several times, and you do say it just like it. Da fuck, da fuck, da fuck, da fuck. It's like, stop saying da fuck. Nobody really talks like da fuck like that. And there are people where it sounds like they're saying da fuck, but the people that say da fuck, usually in their head they think they're saying the fuck, but it just comes out da fuck. But it's like with this woman, it's obvious that she's trying, and she's always really tried to me to be like that girl. And then she talks about it, the things that she auditions for, and like the breakdowns on them, you know, the description, and like sassy, and it like tells it like it is. And it's like, yeah, you play into that, so of course you get asked to play that. So I don't really know what the point is. It's like you're complaining about the role that you set up for yourself in Hollywood, like what you go out for, what you do. For me, that one was, and like I said, it wasn't just on a personal level, because I had an argument with her a long time ago. Like I said, she was shitty with me. I confronted her about it and let her know how I felt about it. So it's not like I hold hard feelings towards her, but I just want to be honest about that, because I know if she ends up hearing about this, she'll be like, oh, we got into it. And so I like to be, like I always say, full disclosure. I like to let you guys know exactly what the behind the scenes dynamics are as far as I go and my personal history with certain people. Taylor Tomlinson, I really did enjoy hers. I like her as a writer. I know some people don't necessarily go for her point of view, but it's the only thing I've ever seen anybody like come after Taylor Tomlinson about is just the fact that she's more on the wholesome side, but I think she makes wholesome funny. And so I really like her as a young comic. Obviously, she's not going to have the life experience of somebody that's in their 40s or whatever, but I think she's a great comic, and I think she's somebody definitely to watch out for. There were points where I felt like I could see the writing in what she was doing, which, you know, with comedy, it's kind of like, in my opinion, a lot of times what you do is you write jokes and then you kind of, like, not mess them up, but, you know, like you dirty them up so that they sound more like you're just talking or telling stories or whatever. With Taylor, there were points where I definitely kind of saw behind the curtain and I was like, oh yeah, this is you reciting what you've actually written. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that's something I noticed as a comic. If you don't notice that at home, then don't notice that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying I saw it. Phil Wang, yeah, that's the way I felt about that. I'm not trying to be mean, but, you know, and I watched all of them all the way through, even if I didn't have the best time with them. Phil Wang, I just didn't enjoy it. And it's not like, you know, I'm some bumpkin that just sits at home and doesn't understand comedy from other places. Like, you know, I've met plenty of international comics that are funny. I've traveled myself. So it's not like I don't get that sensibility. It's just, to me, it wasn't particularly funny. And I don't know what anybody else is looking for in comedy specials, but, like, especially a 15-minute, because you can really just bang it out in 15 fucking minutes. I feel like all of these people could have given actual heat for 15 minutes. Or if you did 7 minutes of tags and fillers and then 7 minutes of actual heat, it would have looked like a set full of fucking heat. Then you fucking give your closer, drop the fucking mic, and you're like, bam! Which, of course, you don't literally drop the mic, because at this point, that's pretty cheesy unless you really fucking rock it. But if you metaphorically drop the mic at that point, I think that's what I want to see when I watch specials. Sabrina, I think it's Jalees. She was, you know, a fun comic, but I was distracted by this horrible outfit that she was wearing. She makes reference to it and calls it like a lesbian mechanic's uniform. I guess it was kind of a jumpsuit type thing, but it was really ugly and ill-fitted, and I just thought, like, that kept distracting me. And I know that I'm just supposed to be paying attention to the comedy, but I really was like, the presentation on this absolutely sucks. Like, you look like shit. And, you know, I don't expect that, you know, because you're a girl, you have to dress a certain way, or I'm not saying like that kind of thing at all. Especially as many lesbians and gender non-conforming people as I know. That's not the way I go at it, but just something that fit a little better, you know, something that wasn't so, it looked like she had sewn baggy sweats and a shitty button-up shirt together, long sleeve button-up. It just looked like shit. You watch for yourself. I was distracted. As far as actual material went, I thought she was fun. I thought she was good. I don't have any real complaints about it. One thing I noticed with all of the sets, though, was they all seemed to almost have an assignment. And I don't know if this was Netflix people that were like, mention something about the Me Too movement. Because it seemed like all of them did, to the point where Michelle Buteau and Jack Knight both had pretty much the exact same bit, where they were both like, read the room, bro. And it's like, I don't know. I'm just like, that read the room shit, I wasn't a fan of it. Both of them said, read the room and don't put your dick out in their actual jokes about, like, I guess Me Too and men being predators and whatever else. I don't care if you bring that up. Like, I have a couple Me Too jokes or a Me Too joke, but I make it funny. So I don't know where this idea comes from that you just say things and then you don't really make them funny, especially on a special. Like, there was another point during Jack Knight's set where I noticed he got himself kind of in trouble when he mentioned, like, lesbians challenging men. And it was kind of like, that could have been great, but it just didn't go anywhere. So it was just like a bit that made the audience uncomfortable for no real reason. It just was like, anyway, that's where I'm at with the comedy lineup. Overall, do I think it's worth watching? I would try to sell you guys by saying watch Tim Dillon first. He's the last one, so go to the episodes and skip right to number 8. So the order I would say to watch in, just so you get what you actually need out of this if you're looking for laughs in a fun way, is I would say go Tim Dillon, Ian Karmel, into Taylor Tomlinson, Sam J, then Michelle Buteau. Even though it wasn't my favorite, I get the feeling that a lot of the average person would like Michelle Buteau. And I'm not calling you average, but maybe I am, you basic bitch. So then check out Michelle Buteau after Sam J. You know what? Never mind. If you're going to go Tim Dillon, Ian Karmel, Taylor Tomlinson, then go Michelle Buteau, then go Sam J, then go Jack Knight, then go Sabrina Jalees, and then go Phil Wang. That's what I would say. Yeah, that's the way I would do my lineup, just so you guys get the proper. Well, really, if it were a comedy show, an actual comedy show, I would stagger the lineup a bit more and not put like what I consider the funniest right at the beginning or the funniest from this series. Like, let me be very clear that I'm talking about these sets specifically because, to tell you the truth, Jack Knight and Sam J are two very strong comics in real life. I don't know what happened on this special, so I'd be interested to find out. But, you know, I wanted to just come out here and be like, you guys got to see Sam J and Jack Knight. That's what it is. You just got to see them. But it just didn't play out that way for me. And yeah, but Michelle Buteau, I think the average person will really like her set. It's set by a basic bitch for basic bitches. So that's where I'm at with it. I know some people are going to get mad at me about this. I don't really care. I know that as soon as you say you don't like something in comedy, people are like, you know, clearly you're just a hater. And it's like, nah, if I was a hater, I would come at it a whole different way. I'm just telling you guys what I thought. And to get back to Sabrina Jalees' set really quick before I get out of here, I think her material was really good. That outfit was just so hideous that I couldn't get past it. And maybe the average person will get past it. So maybe me putting her kind of last, or, you know, I don't think I mentioned Phil Wang. I would put his last because maybe in the UK that's great, but here in the States, I don't think a lot of people are going to be into that set. So I would put Phil Wang absolutely last. Whatever you do, Phil Wang last so you don't burn yourself out and get like, this isn't funny. Tim Dillon, definitely check him out first. That's what I will stress for you guys. Tim Dillon first. He really did impress me. I thought he was just so funny. But that's where I'm at. Comedy lineup. Leave your guys' comments. Let me know what you guys think. Hit the thumbs up button. Hope everybody has a good Monday. And I'll be on the road all this week. So I'll be doing as many of these as I possibly can. But I don't know how possible it's going to be. I don't know how it's all going to work out. But I'll make it work. You'll hear from me. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you listening.